You ready to go?
Good to go.
Okay, let's, well, you said start with a prayer, so let's do that. Father, as we enjoy each other's company tonight and hear this story that I have to tell, I just pray, Lord, that your Holy Spirit would use it in each person's heart and his or her life. And, Lord, that you would use it for encouragement, use it for challenge, use it for conviction, use it in any way that you know that person needs to hear from you tonight. And I just pray that my words would fade away and that your word would be what we take away tonight. We pray in Jesus' name. One of the most compelling things that I ever saw was an interview that Barbara Walters did with a guy named Ted Turner. Everybody know who Ted Turner is? Pretty much? Okay, great. Well, this was a few years back, and Ted Turner, is like one of the most successful men ever. He took this little family sign business and turned it into, a broadcasting empire. He bought the Atlanta Hawks and the Braves and the whatever the hockey team is, and he sold it now to Time Warner for huge amounts of money. He single-handedly basically put the Goodwill games together and made them what they were. Everything was going right for Ted Turner in his life, and they talked through all of this success after success after success. And everybody who's watching this on TV is thinking, man, what a life this guy has. And even to the place where he marries one of the most beautiful actresses in America. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but guys my age used to put up this poster in our rooms of Barbarella. Remember Barbarella? Jane Fonda. This guy married Barbarella. So, it's just this incredible success. And Barbara Walters, what she does? She always finishes her interview by sort of leaning into the person and giving them this question that just penetrates and wraps everything up. Which is it's just amazing how she does that. So she leans into Ted Turner and she says, "So Ted, all of these things that you've accomplished, all these, you're a philanthropist, you're a successful businessman, you're a diplomat, you're all this has happened. So how does that make you feel?" Ted Turner just sits back. He says, "I feel like an empty paper sack." Whew. Wow, I gotta tell you, I haven't done 1% of what Ted Turner has done in his life in terms of being a success. But I sometimes start talks like this by saying, "Hi, my name's Garnett. I'm a recovering success addict." And honestly, that's kind of how you could characterize most of my life. Growing up, I wanted to be first in my class. I wanted to be the president of everything in school. I went to Duke, undergrad, graduated high in my class there. Went to Harvard Business School after that. I graduated well there. Got the best job you could get out of Harvard Business School. Working as a consultant at a Bain company up in Boston. Was really successful there. The first promoted in my class, and all of that. Went from there into the NBA, where I ran the Washington Bullets, which the NBA team in Washington, which is now the Wizards. I was there for 3 years in the 80s, and I was hired to turn the team around in the front office area. I was the CEO, so the whole thing reported to me, but it was my job really to do whatever needed to be done so that the owner would quit losing all that money that he was losing. And they had lost money for 11 straight years. I came in for 3 years I was there. They made a lot of money. When I left, it was over. They started losing lots of money again. And went from there to being the president of a venture capitalized mortgage bank up in Boston. Moved back up there, and that company very quickly became one of the fastest growing companies in America. And it was just like success after success after success. Everything was going great. And I can remember, like it was yesterday, sitting in my office with the bullets, and, thinking, here I am, I'm 31 years old, I'm the CEO of a National Basketball Association team. Every guy in my business school class wants my job. I'm making 3 times as much money as I ever thought I would make in my lifetime. I'm in the Washington Post, regularly. All this is like there, and I'm thinking, is this all there is? Wow. If this is, all that stuff is going right, is that it? I mean, is this how I'm supposed to feel? What do I do now? Because it's the old empty paper sack, It was just this hollow feeling of, I'm doing better than I ever thought I would do. Who cares? After working for 2 years in Boston, as CEO of that company up there, just to compress the story, things fell apart business-wise. And so over the course of a 1-week period, I lost my job, I lost my investment in the company, I lost my income, and more importantly than any of that, I think, I lost my identity. Because I was totally tied up in being the business success, being the guy who ran the company, being the CEO, being the big deal, the making all the money, and the power and the whatever, And during that 2-year period, my family had continued to live in Washington, D.C. And I was commuting up to Boston every week, fly up on Monday morning, back on Friday evening. And so, I had 2 little kids that didn't know me. A wife who learned to despise me because I was so full of myself. And then everything falls apart, at work. And all that family stuff that I didn't really care that much about before, I look and I've got nothing left, of my identity in the business world. And I look to my family and there's nothing left there. And I had nothing. And I had to rent a car to drive all my stuff home from my little apartment in Boston. And I drove home, and I remember driving over the Delaware Memorial Bridge. Big bridge, very scary bridge, if you don't know what it is. But a fuel truck came alongside, tanker, carrying gasoline. And, it was like, I'm thinking, this would be so much easier if I just turned into that truck, go up in flames. And, by the way, if anybody ever tells you Satan isn't real, I'll tell you what, he was in the seat with that Oldsmobile. I've sat next to the guy. And everything was saying, do it, do it, do it. And basically it was only out of compassion for the poor guy driving the truck that I didn't.